your Crack'em Player of the Game.
Crack him if you got him.
Look at that little soundbite.
Okay, so Crack'em Player of the Game. I'll go first.
I was gonna say someone that feels confident in their pick.
Juanyeh Thomas.
Hey man,
Juanyeh Thomas is my Crack'em Player of the Game. I don't know what his stat line is, but the fact of the matter is he came right out of the gates and he set the tone. And for that first quarter, he was an absolute beast. He was a dog, as we like to say.
Dog.
Juanyeh Thomas, his stat line's not great, but the eyeball test, Juanyeh Thomas is my fucking guy.
Well, see, and this is the greatest part about this. It's all a personal feeling, right? And if we all split, if it's a split decision, it goes to the Instagram tomorrow as a vote.
That's right.
So I'm thinking we're split here.
I think we're split. Do you want me to go?
I already know your guy, so
Who?
Well, you said him, but I'll lead out there. I'll lead out because
okay.
I know who you went with.
Okay.
And he was in contention with my guy. My guy's DaRon Not So Bland was my player of the game.
Damn,
okay.
Not only because he had that great tipped. Well, I'm not even gonna call it a tip. Trevon Diggs absolutely cleaned out Saquon Barkley. I was bitching about Trevon Diggs not making a tackle on Daniel Jones when he ran out. He must have heard me because the next chance he had, he absolutely walloped Saquon Barkley, and DaRon Bland was just there at the right time to pick it up.
Yeah.
But then he still returned it for the touchdown.
Yeah.
You still have to make the play.
Yep.
You could have the ball hit you in the hands and still drop it.
Yeah.
He still, at the end of the day, picked it off, ran it down, as you saw, made us drink screech, made us all, feel a little bit warm in the belly area.
Mm-hmm.
But the other reason why I think he's the Kraken player of the game, because it wasn't just that. He was flying around all over the place. He had other pass breakups. He had a bunch of nice tackles. He was in there mucking it up. He just looked tough, and all his hits were hard, and he looked fast. And for that, him being a 5th-round pick, I'm so excited to see him in this offense for the rest of the year. I was kind of on the train that he was going to get beat out by someone as our nickelback corner, but he's just so good, and this was another step into him being a very, very, very good player for us going forward. So he is my Not So Bland is my Kraken player of the game.
Very fair.
Okay. So far we got Thomas and Not So Bland in contention for Kraken Player of the Games. AJ, before you go, so Sammy in the chat says Zach and Tyron had a hell of a night.
They did.
Okay,
The
fair.
whole O-line did. Whole O-line played very well.
Hard to give a O-line a crack.
Hard to give an O-line a crack 'em.
But it can happen.
It could.
AJ, who do you have as a crack 'em player of the game?
Just to make it fun, but because I love both of your guys' arguments, but I think he fits there nicely. Trevon Diggs.
Nice.
Trevon Diggs came in there, had a pretty good game, caused that pop, that interception.
The boo shit, as we like to call it.
Caused the boo.
shit, baby.
I like that a big hit to us is just one of us screaming, boosh!
It's hilarious.
It's a boo.
It was AJ. That was the first thing, was just AJ screaming boosh. And then after, in the replay, I'm then screaming boosh, which is hilarious.
Boosh.
But and he also had I can't remember, that one stands out to me. There was also another play with Diggs. Maybe it was a TFL or something like that. Can't remember. But anyways, the guy played great. So I think he deserves to be up there on that echelons for.
Well, another thing, you didn't see them throwing at him.
That's
after.
right.
That right there, they just were like, okay. They challenged Stephon Gilmore a little bit.
Yep.
Gilmore got the interception. Yep. He could even be up there for Kraken player of the game. Like we said, there's probably fucking 5 to 10 guys that could have realistically had an argument for Kraken player of the game.
That's the biggest problem with picking the Kraken player of the game, is when it's so spread out and there's not like one defining moment that changed the course of the game. It was a 40-0 game.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of people in contention for the Kraken player of the game.
No one on offense except for perhaps
TP20.
Yeah. And
I guess an offensive lineman, but it's boring.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it, but picking an offensive lineman for Kraken player of the game, it's kind of boring. It is, right?
Okay, what about
it kind
this?
of is for us.
Call of Dookie says Mike McCarthy, LOL, great play calling. So maybe is Mike McCarthy our Kraken player of the game?
He's not a player.
He's not a player. Guess what? He ain't the player of the game.
And if we were going coaches, I'd have to argue Dan Quinn was more the Kraken coach of the game.
Yeah. When you look at
But we'll throw it. So we got 3 different ones. We got AJ with Trevon Diggs, myself with Not So Bland, and Adam with Thomas. So I'll throw that in the IG tomorrow for a vote, and that's going to end up being the pick, whoever the peeps want.